Всем привет, друзья! Мы продолжаем играть во второй Kingdom Come Deliverance, а именно в последнюю DLC-шечку для этой прекрасной игры. Посоветоваться с монастырским библиотекарем, осмотреть найденные тела, осмотреть место пожара, спросить свидетеля пожара. Угу. Но я могу спокойно выходить на улицу уже или нет еще? А, отстой. Да что ты, блядь, ты чё ёбнулся нахуй? Дец, он уперся в эту хуйню и все, не может пройти. Бред какой-то.
You'd best move along.
I'm investigating the source of that illness that's been spreading around here, and I could use your learned knowledge.
I'm listening.
I came across the symbol of the Kingdom of Jerusalem during my investigation, and I was wondering if you might have any records or anything that might be connected to it.
If memory serves, something should definitely be here. I even dabbled in it myself long ago. We have the legacy of a knight named Boleslav Bavor, who journeyed through the Holy Land and visited Jerusalem. There was some connection to the monastery crypt, if I recall.
Really? Because I actually came across it in the crypt.
What? What are you talking about?
Well, I ran into some laborers down there. From what I gathered, they were trying to rob some of the graves, and they were looking for something tied to the Jerusalem cross.
By Christ, they were after the relic.
What are you talking about? What relic?
There's a possibility that Bavor was buried here along with a certain relic. That's what got me interested back then.
What exactly did you discover about then?
Not much. That's why I soon gave it up. Aside from the travel records of Sir Bavor, there wasn't any further mention of anything that might be connected. In the end, I concluded that the whole tale of the relic was likely just Bavor's own fabrication.
But why would the workers suddenly be looking for it now? How could they have found out?
It's certainly a strange coincidence. Then again, there are all sorts of lies and half-truths circulating out there about our monastery, unfortunately. Especially tales of long-sealed treasures and hidden cellars full of silver. If even a sliver of it were true...
It still feels like too much of a coincidence to me.
You'd be surprised what people will believe when tempted by the prospect of riches. And we don't have any better explanation right now. Either way, we must report it to the abbot without delay. Robbing the dead is disgraceful.
You're right. The abbot ought to be told, but it's probably not wise to burden him with it now. Right now, we need to deal with the illness. Once things have settled down, we can make sure those thieves get what they deserve. Besides, we've got almost no proof yet. If I manage to investigate the matter of Bavor more thoroughly, I might stumble on something.
Still, it's a serious thing. We mustn't wait too long.
Of course. Once I've gathered the evidence, I'll explain everything to the abbot straight away. And now I'd like to take a proper look at Bavor's travel records.
Of course. Give me a few moments. I'll find them for you. And I believe Bavor's name also appeared in some old accounts. I'll try to track those down too. Here you go. Bavor's travel records about his journey through the Holy Land. And I've also found these old accounts. Feel free to study them too.
Oh. It really says here that he acquired a holy relic. Let's see how it continues.
Я не собираюсь это читать, вы что, издеваетесь?
According to the journal, Bavor had himself buried here with his holy treasure. That sounds pretty clear. Let's see what the accounts say. So Bavor gave the monastery a generous donation and paid for a chapel mural painting. And still, despite all the records and mentions, Crispin had his doubts. Why?
Well, are you still so enamored with...
I read the journal. A lovely tale. It really brought the Holy Land to life.
And?
And it says the relic Bavor acquired was a splinter from the true cross of Christ.
Holy Virgin! Such a sacred treasure!
And according to the book, Sir Boleslav was to be buried with the relic in the monastery crypt.
So it says in the book. I also found my old notes and remembered how it all went back then. I too searched for Bavor's grave. I even dared venture into the crypt, but despite all my efforts, I never found it.
And what did you do after that?
Once I was convinced none of the graves belonged to Bavor, I laid the matter before the abbot, but not our father Jan. This was over 20 years ago when Abbot Vitus held office. May the Lord grant him eternal peace. Together we came to the conclusion that Bavor's tale was likely at least partly, perhaps entirely, made up.
Why would it be made up? Surely Sir Boleslav wouldn't lie about something so serious.
The book's one thing, but there's not a single other mention anywhere. The grave's missing, the relic's nowhere to be found. Can you think of another explanation, then?
The account books mention that Bavor had a sarcophagus made at his own expense.
That's possible. Does it mean anything?
If he paid for it himself, there had to be a reason. Masonry work like that is no small matter, and it's odd, isn't it? He sorted it all out in detail with the monastery to have his tomb here. Then he wasn't even buried here.
You're right. I never made that connection before.
But why would Bavor do that? What would he gain by deceiving everyone here?
If memory serves, he had some disputes over property. Maybe he wanted to improve his reputation.
Well, that's mentioned in the text, but lies wouldn't have helped him. Quite the opposite if he'd been found out.
You'd be surprised how short-sighted some folk can be. But I agree, something about it doesn't sit right.
And what about the mural mentioned in the accounts? Does it really exist?
Yes, it's in one of the chapel naves. It depicts several scenes from Bavor's alleged adventures.
Well, then that proves Bavor's story wasn't just made up. Surely the abbot back then wouldn't have approved such a mural in the main church if he hadn't believed it was true.
If the former abbot believed Bavor wasn't a liar, but a real hero of the Holy Land, I'll believe him too.
All the more reason I want to see it for myself.
No harm in trying. At the very least, it's a fine piece of work.
Bavor mentions in his journal that he received a great fortune from the King of Cyprus, and the account records say he gave a generous donation to the monastery. Do you think that was made up too?
They confirm at best that Bavor had wealth, not where it came from. According to the late Abbot Vitus, he might have gained that fortune by plundering or as spoils of war, and the tale of the Holy Land was just a cover to mask the dishonorable origin of his riches.
Well, I've never been to the Holy Land, but I've seen plenty of wrongdoings, even here in Bohemia. And if Bavor really wanted to cover up how he got his coin, he could have built a village, built a fortress, or who knows, bought up a mine. He could have done any number of smarter things than spinning a tale about a heroic journey halfway across the world, don't you think?
I'm no expert in fraud, but yes, he chose a rather complicated cover-up if that's what it was.
And then there's the relic. If Bavor had just wanted to raise his reputation with a good story, why claim to have gained something so rare?
Perhaps out of vanity? There's no shortage of that among the nobility.
But his tale's already heroic enough without it. Making up a relic would only draw unwanted attention.
That's a good point. It'd be too risky.
The crypt has a hidden side chamber, you know.
Excuse me? What chamber?
It had been walled up. In one part of the crypt, the masonry was loose, so I managed to get inside.
I've never heard of anything like that. Perhaps even Abbot Vitus didn't know of it.
I'd say the abbot would definitely have known about something like that. He just didn't tell you. Maybe on purpose.
Where are you going with this?
I'm not sure. Just thinking out loud, really. Don't you think this whole thing is a bit too complicated? Every explanation for why Bavor would lie seems more convoluted than just acknowledging it's true.
Listening to you now, it's like hearing my younger self. And I sound exactly like Abbot Vitus. His view was that Bavor's story was fiction. He told me I'd be better off letting it go.
What exactly did he say?
That I should stop chasing old crusaders and focus on real, meaningful work.
Why didn't you stand your ground?
I couldn't argue with the abbot. What he said went. And I was just a lowly monk, barely past my vows. I had to obey. In time, I learned to let some things lie. Those who dig too deep may uncover what they'd rather not.
I'm not blaming you, but I think it's time we reopened that old inquiry of yours and saw it through. And maybe we'll finally unravel Bavor's mystery together.
If that relic really does exist, and it surfaced now, it'd surely be a sign from the Lord, a sign of hope in these desperate times.
Don't get ahead of yourself. We've not even found Bavor's tomb. Without it, we're stuck.
But you spoke of that hidden chamber in the crypt. If there's any clue, it'll be in there. Take this and study it closely. It's a drawing of Bavor's family coat of arms I came across years ago. According to this, you'll know if it's truly the grave of Sir Boleslav. Yes, the mural in the chapel, paid for by Bavor himself, also bears his coat of arms.
Those workers, if they really were after Bavor, they only had a drawing of the Jerusalem cross. But if he was buried under his family crest, no wonder they opened the wrong graves.
Yes, that could be it. Study that sketch well, so you won't make the same mistake.
Thank you. I'll head off at once.
Just be careful, please. You know the abbot's orders, the disease, all this misfortune.
Don't worry. I'll be careful.
And in the crypt, show respect to the eternal rest of those buried there.
Мне интересно было, понимаете, слушать это, да, все круто. Но все равно, когда ты сидишь, слушаешь, что-то начинает рубить почему-то. Вау. Надо спросить свидетеля пожара. Это будет интересно тоже, наверное. А чё не может перепрыгнуть? Только с разбега смог. Кстати, в подвале у меня нету этого значка, что я нахожусь не в том месте. Хорошо. Фак. Наверх.
Stand up, would you?
There's a lot of you here. Which one of you is Elijah?
Keep your voice down. Elijah isn't here.
What happened? Why are you all covered in blood?
Have you seen Elijah today?
Nah. I heard him rummaging about a bit in the night. It woke me up. But he was gone in the morning and hasn't been back. I hope nothing's happened to him.
God be with you. Plead to your Son for us. Lord, hear our prayer. Give us the strength. What's going on?
If Elijah isn't here...
I saw him this morning staggering off to the cellar. It looked like he'd been through a lot.
Thanks.
God be with you.
Это туда, где спускался сейчас? Ну, типа, наверное, да. Можно как-то прекратить действие? Вроде бы можно, просто у меня, наверное, не будет этих этого зелья. Я даже не помню, какой убирает действия всех. Да нет, ни хрена. Здесь пуск, да.
Fucking life. Oh, everything's spinning.
He's blind drunk. He can barely speak. Are you with me?
What is it?
No, we're out of schnapps. So stop whining and drink.
Oh, bloody awful stuff.
So, feeling any better?
Better? I wish. Oh, it's all coming back to me.
That's good. I need to know what happened during the night.
I don't want to talk about it. Don't make me.
I get it. You don't want to remember. I've seen some nasty things too. But sometimes it helps to talk to someone. It's definitely better than drowning your wits in schnapps.
Well, all right. What do you want to know?
Did you see anyone else at the fire?
No. No. Just the dog was there.
The dog?
That's how I noticed the fire. The dog was darting about, barking like mad, so I thought there was someone inside. Someone alive.
How did you even notice the fire? What were you doing outside?
I couldn't sleep, so I went for a walk. It was just chance.
Just chance? You sure? I don't think the abbot would be happy about folk wandering around at night.
so what if I took a little walk?
You sure you weren't sneaking off somewhere for a drink? You seem smart enough not to keep your booze where someone might find it. I bet you've got a nice little stash, eh?
All right. Maybe I did head off to the back pond for a nightcap. I heard a dog barking like mad, so I went to see what was going on. I should have just kept out of it.
When you dragged out those 2 bodies, what did you do then?
While I was pulling out the second one, other people had noticed the fire. One of the knights grabbed me and started yelling that I was the arsonist. Luckily, he saw the bodies and how I was covered in, well, the same filth they were. Then the people from the monastery came. They sent me away and took the bodies off somewhere. I don't know what happened after that.
I need to ask about the dead, too. Are you sure they were already dead when you pulled them out?
Aye.
And may I ask how you knew?
When I carried them out, I thought I'd roast alive in seconds. But they were cold as ice. And one of them was already stiff as a board. When I laid him down, he just crunched. Oh.
Do you have any idea who those 2 were?
I've no idea. It was dark. I couldn't see their faces. Thank God. As it is, I'll be dreaming about this for a long time.
Did you notice anything odd about them?
I couldn't see much. It was as dark as a sinner's soul. But they were soaked. Soaked to the bone. And also, how to say it? Filthy. Both of them.
Filthy from what?
From shit.
Right. That can happen after death.
No, I mean they were completely covered in it. Like someone had dunked them in it. Oh.
Thanks. I'll leave you be now.
Wait, I have no idea what to do with myself. I thought I'd finally do something right for once in my life. And how did I end up? Covered in shit, face burned, and humiliated. I'd rather never step outside the door again.
What are you on about? You acted like a hero.
Hardly. I'm a coward and a drunk.
Who ran into the flames to save his fellow man.
Aye. And what did it get me?
If not for you, they'd have burned to ash and wouldn't even have a decent burial. This way they can pass on with dignity. So stop feeling sorry for yourself and be a bit proud, all right?
Right. Right. Thanks. Hey, look, I haven't told anyone, but I found this key during the night. I've no idea whose it is, but maybe you'll find it useful.
Thanks.
Так, осмотреть найденные тела, осмотреть место пожара. Ой, я могу прожидать теперь время.
Not much left of the shed. Elijah had more luck than sense.
Оу. На всякий случай.
A torch? Damn, this wasn't an accident. Someone torched the shed to cover their tracks. At least this grill is here. Oil. Burns like the devil. No wonder there's barely anything left of the shed. Rough cloth, badly charred, and bits of leather. Probably used as knee protection for work.
Если подожду часик, у меня кончится действие этого зелья. Заебало. Она как будто вечность действует. Ладно.
Wine. Could Elijah have lost it here?
Так, осмотрели. Остались тела.
How bold of you! You steal something from us and then you go walking around with it on. That's not happening.
Да с чего он вообще это высрал? Пиздец. А, он, наверное, увидел меня тесак. Да пошли они нахуй. А, блядь, я же все равно, когда вернусь на место, то меня к абату опять отведут.
I heard it here.
Right then. Where to begin? I'll start with the younger one. Muscle stiff, but the body looks supple. What's that in his hair? Ugh. Better mind my fingers. Rigor mortis is wearing off. He can't have been dead more than a few hours. He vomited up his guts before he died. Just like that old confessor. It's all clumped together. Looks like flour, or maybe lime.
Кого, блядь, на вкус? Вы издеваетесь?
Bruising, some dried blood, but no broken bones. Those bruises are odd. Regular. Almost perfectly circular. Looks like cupping marks. Someone might have tried to ease a fever or pain. He's young, but his hands are a mess. Covered in scars, nails broken, looks like hard labor. And 2 workers did go missing. That can't be a coincidence. I don't see anything odd here. Ribs intact, belly soft. No sign of violent death. Just his back and hips are badly scraped. No blood. Like he was dragged over gravel after he died. A few old scars. Gravel embedded in both knees. And blood around the groin. Barely dried. Could it have leaked out after death? Mixed with bowel contents. Bloody diarrhea. Like with the infection. Now for the older one. Pale. Sunken eyes. Missing some teeth, though that might just be age. But that hole in his head is someone's doing. Small, round, clean, like it was drilled. I've heard of that method before, used in cases of unbearable headache or seizures. But who'd try that outside the infirmary? Completely stiff. Clenched tight. Like he was ready for a fight. Rigor mortis well advanced. Died long before the fire. Skin's badly scratched. And there's a thorn stuck here. Maybe a rose? Stiff as a board. But no broken bones. Back and shoulders all scratched up. Like he was dragged through brambles. And around his neck and chest he's got red blotches on the skin. Those blotches look familiar. They're a bit like the ones on that old confessor. Looks like this poor wretch caught the same thing. Knees are scraped and scarred. He must have worked hard in his life. Well, what's clear is they didn't die in that burning hut. More likely they succumbed to the infection spreading in the monastery. The symptoms match perfectly. Either way, it wasn't a cold-blooded murder. Someone tried to treat them, brutally, but still. And it didn't work. Someone must have hauled the bodies into that shed. And it left marks on them. It might be possible to trace where they came from.
Так, ладно, давайте на этом закончим. Продолжим в следующей серии. Всем спасибо за просмотр. Ставьте лайки, подписывайтесь. А главное, комментируйте, чтобы я мог с вами общаться. До скорых встреч.